What's going on, everyone? Original OGHypnoToad here, welcoming you to week 4 of the Power Rankings. Now, if you haven't watched week 3 Power Rankings, make sure you go watch that now, just so you can get an idea of how we do these rankings, and also so you can see what has changed since last week. But we're just going to go ahead and move right on in. So, moving on to the Pokeball rankings, the bottom 4 teams right now. We have sitting at number 12, the Scottsdale Sculpedes, with a 1-3 record with a -9 differential. I believe they played the Kansas City Nidokings this week. I think they lost that match 4-0, I believe. So make sure you watch that match. Definitely worth the watch. Sitting at number 11, we have the Denver Rapidash with a 1-3 record with a -8 differential. They picked up their first win this week. I don't remember who they play this week, but anyways, congrats to TCF Eric and the Denver Rapidash for picking up their first win. They definitely deserved it with how they've been planning, and finally they got some hacks to go their way, so definitely kudos to Denver Rapidash. Sitting at number 10, we have the Boston Weasels with a 1-3 record with a -7 differential. Now, unfortunately for the Boston Weasels, this week they had to forfeit their match because of scheduling issues. They were just too busy, so I understand the whole being busy idea. It's hard for a lot of people to find time to do this kind of things, so I understand him having to forfeit. It is just unfortunate. So because of that, he had to take the loss and a -3 differential. So, but I'm sure Boston Weasels will be able to come back next week and pull off a good comeback, hopefully. And last, for the Pokeball rankings, we have the Kansas City Nidokings sitting at a 1-3 record with a -4 differential. Now, like I said about the Scottsdale Sculpedes, Kansas City picked up their first win against them. So congrats to the Kansas City Nidokings for picking up their win. It was a pretty convincing win, a 4-0 victory in their favor. Mega Pinsir just proved to be too much of a beast to take down. He did score a kind of crucial crit on the Rhyperior. Rhyperior was probably about I'd say 60 HP after taking an Earthquake from Mega Pinsir, and so that, unfortunately, the second hit was a crit, but who knows what kind of move Rhyperior was going to go for. It might have been a Stone Edge, and as we all know, Stone Edges might miss. So you never know what could happen, but that did happen to go in his favor, and that led to him getting up 6-1, and then Jirachi came in and took out 2 of his mons before finally going down. So congrats to the Kansas City Nidokings, and I hope you guys continue your success. Moving on now to the Great Ball rankings, the middle of the pack right now. We have the Minnesota Wild Charge sitting at 1-3 with a -3 differential. Now that I remember, I think the Minnesota Wild Charge actually played TCF Eric, if I remember correctly. And if I remember correctly, I think that was a 2-0 loss for the Minnesota Wild Charge and a 2-0 win for the Denver Rapidash. So I'm trying to remember what I remember from that match, because I was there. I watched that match live on Showdown. I think the only thing that was crucial was the fact that Mega Gardevoir for Minnesota Wild Charge wasn't able to pick up the kill against the Bronzong. And had that picked up the kill, I think he might have won that match, because then he would have outsped the Mega Glade, since the Glade had not evolved yet. So that could have been crucial, but I don't really know. I can't really say for sure, but unfortunately for the Minnesota Wild Charge, it just did not go their way this week. Sitting at number 7, we have the literal definition of right in the middle. We have the Lexington Larvatars sitting at a 2-2 equal record with a +0 differential. So they're just playing close matches and getting similar outcomes, both in wins and losses. So I guess they have plenty of potential, though, since they're 2-2 and +0. It's, they're just neutral right now. So They can go up or they can go down, so hopefully for them they do go up. Next we have at number 6 the Detroit Gliders, sitting at 2-2 with a +1 differential. Now the Detroit Gliders actually played yours truly in the Omaha Stars, and I do not want to spoil how the match turned out, but it was a pretty heavily favored win in our favor. I'm not going to spoil the actual outcome of the match, but it was just we just played really well against the Detroit Gliders. We picked up a couple crits here and there, but only one of them. I don't think really any of them mattered, in my personal opinion, because I had counters to the Mons that were critted against. So, but I mean, obviously once you get critted, you kind of get thrown off a little bit. So that might have affected his playing at the time. But it's hard to say. If you guys want to go watch that video, make sure you go watch it, just to get an idea of what happened and all that stuff. Next, we have at number 5 the Tampa Bay Duskaliers, sitting at 2-2 with a +3 differential. I don't remember who they played this week, but I believe they did pick up a loss. I think it was a close loss, like a 1-0 loss. So, unfortunately for them, they did fall a couple spots. Actually, I think just one spot in the rankings. And in the division that they're in, it's a very close division because last week his two divisional rivals were below him, and now because of a close 1-0 loss and the other two teams picking up wins, he is now below the two of them. So that is it for the Great Ball rankings. So now we're going to move up to the Ultra Ball, which is the top 4 teams as of now. So at number 4, we have the St. Louis Swallows with a 3-1 differential, with a 3-1 record with a +4 differential. I believe they picked up a 2-0 victory against somebody. They might have beaten Lexington Larvatars now that I think about it, but I don't quite remember off the top of my head. So yeah, like I said about the Tampa Bay Duskaliers, they are in a tight race as well with the St. Louis Swallows. St. Louis Swallows and the Chicago Cub Tues right now are kind of fighting for that first place spot with differential. And speaking of the Chicago Cub Tues, we move on to the 3rd overall team right now, and it is the Chicago Cub Tues, sitting at 3-1 with a +6 differential, picking up that +3 differential with the forfeit from the Boston Weasels. So one could say, had that match been played out, and had Chicago Cub Tues won still, it might be a higher differential, it might be a lower differential. He might have lost, you don't know. That's why forfeits can be really crucial in both aspects. They can be both a blessing because you could pick up a win, or you could pick up a higher differential than what the outcome would have been, or it could be bad because you could have picked up a higher differential had you guys actually played. So all in all, forfeits are just never a good thing, just in general. Sitting at number 2, we have yours truly, the Omaha Stars, with a 3-1 record and a +10 differential, the highest differential in the league so far. Like I said, we played Detroit Gliders this week, and we did pick up a pretty handily victory, and that's all I can really say about it. So. And finally, moving on to our number 1 team overall, we have the Chicago Cloisters, just like last week, and they are still undefeated, sitting at a 4-0 record with a +7 differential. They are the only team left still undefeated, as obvious, and I believe their match was a close 1-0 or 2-0 win. I think they might have played the Tampa Bay Duskaliers now that I think about it, but I don't know off the top of my head for sure. But anyways, that has been these week 4 power rankings in the DBL. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to see all of the coaches, to see all the content like the power rankings and the MVP watch, and also to just keep track of the league itself. One thing I would like to also note out is that starting as of week 6, we are going to be handing over the actual rankings of the power rankings to the analysts. And as of now, we only have one analyst. And I know Aridon, the commissioner of the league, said that he would want to have potentially 1 or 2 more analysts for the league. So if you guys are interested in the potential of becoming an analyst for this league, make sure you go follow at Aridon on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on Twitter, or follow at OGHypnoToad on Twitter, and send one of us a DM saying that you guys are interested in becoming a analyst, and then we will hit you guys back up and do some like a little bit of questioning, and then go from there. But even though we are handing over the actual rankings to the analyst, I think I'm still going to be making these videos. Just because, keep it consistent. We don't want to have a sudden switch up in the way we present this to you guys. We just want to have analysts come in here and give rankings based off of not only differential and record, but just performance overall. Because obviously, a 3-1 team might be 3-1, but they might not be as good as a 2-2 team, depending on how well they play and all that stuff. So, anyways, I'm done rambling though. So, make sure you guys have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next power ranking video. Bye bye.